Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. I want to talk about Sidus heroes, but instead of a regular introduction, I want to go over our research report that Phoenix Fire has done. So a lot of you that are in our community know that we have in-depth research reports on these projects where we go through, explain it in great detail. We also apply a confidence rating or a score out of 5. This rubric was created by Miles. So I'm going to go into that, show you a little bit about this game. We're going to give it a score at the end. And also I want to show you because the token is on a bit of a tear rate. Actually, why don't we start there? If we take a look, Senate is up quite a bit right now. The last week, it's been on a bit of a pump, 124%. Now, this is more of a metaverse. There's multiple games within it. It's not just a single game, but it is the highest performer right now in the play to earn category. So I thought it was worth introducing it to you guys and just explain kind of our grading system. Now, if you head to the website, there's a lot of great detail on here. It talks about the few different games that they have. There's Zena, Trembazard, Nidium, Astrally, luxury brand game, and there's 14 plus games in development. Really some good information in here. They talk about their token prices, things like that. Go through their site, but really you're going to find everything you need in our research report. So jumping over here, we can see it's on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. It's a metaverse, RTS, third-person shooter, hyper-casual, turn-based. So their target audience is play-to-earn, sci-fi, and Web3. Basic gameplay mechanics is it's a free-to-play, play-to-earn metaverse game built on WebGL. It's a cross-platform API that enables players to enjoy it on most common browsers, devices, and operating systems. I'm not going to read this all for verbatim. Definitely make sure you jump into our Discord. We have hundreds of reports like this on games so that when you're looking to get invested or involved in them, we've already done all the heavy lifting for you guys. And I plan on doing a lot more videos featuring these reports and grading these games. So first off, they talk about the Nidium Arena Battler. You choose from 1 to 3 races to participate in different versus battles, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. Each race has different strengths and weaknesses. This is pretty cool. I like how they have that set up. But then we move along to Zena. Zena is a free-to-play real-time strategy battle royale game set on planet Zena. Players command robot armies to capture towers, gather resources, expand the forces. You can see they're tapping into a lot of different genres here with kind of their main metaverse, NFT collections and things like that. And then you can play all these different games. There's Trembazard, which is a third-person shooter, which could play 1v1 team mode. I mean, they even have a shooter game. We've seen like a turn-based combat thing, resource collection game, now first-person shooter. They also talk about Astrally. It's a hybrid casual game. It's the latest edition, actually, and it's exclusively available through Telegram, which I thought was kind of interesting. And you pilot ships through an asteroid obstacle course, collecting coins while dodging obstacles at high speeds. There's Falconian. It's the latest one in development, but it's described as a new social deduction-style game inspired by titles like Among Us. And there's really not a ton of information on it right now, but it's really interesting. They do talk about how they aim to allow players to explore the metaverse independently by owning spaceships, and you'll have the ability to construct buildings, farms, and own influence. That's really cool. You look at their tokenomics thing, and it's like, what? There's a lot going on here. So I do like how they have this structure, but really they're taking all their different games and allowing kind of their main token. There's the Senate token and the Sidus token to work throughout it. I'm not going to break this all down. Take some time understanding this, especially if you're going to get invested in it. But I do like how they've mapped this all out. I would say there's some work that can be done here. I mean, it's not an inflationary model, so that's a good thing. But I'm really interested to see how this works long-term. I'm a big critic when it comes to tokenomics. This is probably something that I would say I specialize in. I've looked at so many different models. I like how they have this set up, but I do see some potential issues on the long term. It depends on how their burning mechanisms are going to work. And really, if there are people focusing on some games rather than others because the earnings are better, so on and so forth. Now, they do talk about how the Senate token is the primary governance token. And also, we've got the distribution here. Now, one thing I did like seeing was that the ecosystem has a 35.5%. That's actually rather low. The team is 21%, which is a little high, but not the end of the world. But partners and advisors are only 3%. Their public sale was only 2%. So I'd say there's some pros and cons with this one, but the best benefit or the biggest pro I would say is the 35.5. I'd say the con is that the team is at 21%. However, they do have a large team, so there's an argument to be made. They obviously need to compensate their team because they have so many staff members. And Senate is what's on a tear right now. That's what's up so much. So the Sidus token is, the other hand, the primary in-game currency. So it's interesting because Senate is the governance, and that's what's on a tear. It's not necessarily the Sidus, the in-game earning ones, has the same kind of pump going on right now. But this one, we see 50% for ecosystem. That's massive. I'm really happy to see that. Also, team is only at 6.5%. So when you look at this and you kind of compare it to the other one, you're like, okay, that seems a little bit better. Just kind of moving along, they do talk about how you're going to be able to sell your expertise based on your chosen profession and skills. They have a lot of plans for more. We've seen this in a lot of games. I'm always obviously skeptical with that, but obviously they're instilling a lot of confidence in their community right now, where they're talking wouldn't be pumping. And they're really kind of going for that metaverse approach. I like how they broke this down here, the royalty allocation scheme. So player, Sidus spends Sidus into resource, there's a royalty percent, there's a burn in marketing. This is kind of nice. The multiple game modes offer players diverse opportunities to invest and gain access to various NFTs. I do like that because you're going to be able to play different games based on what you enjoy. However, what do you need to actually play? How do the NFTs? So there's hero NFTs. Genesis heroes are a unique collection of 6,000. They include 450 original, 100 rare, 500 heroes. You can claim a one-game hero with a unique skin. So you've got these ones, which are pretty sweet. I like the art on it. They were released in January of 2022, so not that long ago, and is called the Academy Collection. So you can see here there's rarities. We've got common, epic, legendary. Obviously, your max level is a little bit higher. There's an experience bonus. You're also able to spend more time on planets, faster travel time, different skins, can become a political party member, can become a counselor. So there is advantages to having higher rarities, obviously. Then they talk about the replicant NFTs. They're the newest hero created through the process using the reproduction facility. And you can see here we've got researcher, builder, chemist. These are different kind of professions, the races, the bonuses. There's a lot to go through here, right? So make sure you read this report if you want to really dig into it. I'm just kind of giving you guys the brief overview. There's also gear NFT, land NFTs, apartment NFTs, planet and spaceships NFTs, and you can see there's a lot going on here with all the different planets and stuff. I like the complexity to it. I think the way that when you do like a space-themed game, when you're doing a metaverse with a ton of different titles, it needs to be easy to understand, but I want it to be hard to master. They talk about pet NFTs. There's also these other NFTs such as eggs, egg hunts, and airdrop events that were given out. There's seed NFTs that can be earned by purchasing on the marketplace to be planted in another player's apartment to grow fruits for consumable use. They have different rarities. There's even a breeding and manufacturing mechanism. Feels like they're kind of tapping all the different aspects of a play to earn game, right? They're kind of covering all their bases. There's NFT lending potentially. The barrier of entry isn't too bad. It's buying one of the Academy Hero NFTs. They do talk about how's it the free month, and then $25 worth of tokens is deducted from your account, and that can be discounted anytime. Quality, it's not going to be AAA graphics. You know, they're really touching a lot of these different titles. It's more like rapid release of games. It's more about fun. But I mean, doesn't mean that they're bad graphics. It's just not going to be like Star Atlas quality, right? They do talk about how it's going to be guild focused. And actually, if we take a look at some of these partners, that kind of makes a little bit more sense why. You know, Emeka Brands, we've got Dex Tools, Netvert, quite a bit of Shima Capital. They're in like every play to earn project I see. Merit Circle. There's quite a few reputable names here. And you can see their team is actually quite large. And this is just the development team alone. So I think about the rest of the team. The roadmap, I would highly recommend you check out the PDF. This does a good job explaining it. They break down each of their games, how far along they are in each section, what they're working on. You can see here astrally, core gameplay, economic system, weapon balance. They still have a lot more to do. So this is kind of good to see on the PDF version. You could just click here to get to it. Moving along, here's our score. So we give Sidus Heroes a 3.9 out of 5. It's actually a relatively good score because we're pretty skeptical when it comes to these titles. Skeptical in a healthy way, right? We wouldn't say something's perfect ever, probably. I don't think we have, period. Fun factor is about a 70%. You know, obviously it talks about there's the different forms, different games. That really does help a little bit, but it might be more of kind of just about the earnings per se, especially because it's not a AAA title. Tokenomics model probably gets the highest score at 80. We did like the complexity here. Tokens are required for the purchase and sales of NFTs, specifically Senate tokens for the lands. I do think they've mapped it out a little bit better. I think Phoenix agrees here is basically what he's saying here. Team, we give it a 70%. You know, they understand the development team places a lot of emphasis on elaboration of economics versus good development. It's the right mind space to be in. They understand the importance of seamless integration. That's also important. Community is 70%. Game is very easy to access and looks stunning. However, it's not free to play. Sidus Heroes has a small dedicated player base, but needs to grow. And obviously with the token pumping, maybe that's going to help. Plans for growth, 80%. So the roadmap details the implementation of various new races, ships, and PvE content. They do have that mapped out well, right? That's something that we did notice. And just some additional comments by Phoenix here. He says he appreciates the scope of the Sidus Heroes, they're planning. They have a very in-depth economic plan and system set up to make a detailed metaverse. Professions, explorations, trade, and combat will be a driving force to create an epic metaverse to be explored. That is, if it gets... The Sidus team is still developing and communicating with their community, which is a good sign. They have an updated roadmap, and all we can do is sit and wait to see if they can deliver on their plan. Awesome. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I hope you guys enjoyed us taking a look at the report. Just to kind of go back to our grading system here and what our score was. You know, we gave it a 3.95. It's actually a pretty decent score, all things considered. And I mean, hey, their governance token's pumping quite a bit right now, so let's keep an eye on this. Thanks so much, as always, for subscribing to the channel, and we appreciate everyone who's left a like. We'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.